AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D 3D cache CPUs official up to 5.7 GHz clock, 144 MB cache and 64 faster than Intel 285K. AMD has officially announced its high-end 3D cache CPUs, the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and 9900 by 3D. For enthusiast AM5 PC builders and gamers. AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D CPUs offer up to 5.7 GHz clocks with 144 MB cache and stellar gaming performance that wrecks the competition. AMD's first Zen 5 3D cache CPU, the Ryzen 7 9800 by 3D, has been a hot seller. It brings incredible gaming performance and efficiency to the table, but it is still an 8-core chip. Today, AMD is unveiling its high-end options, including the Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and the Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D, which offer stunning gaming performance along with big content creation uplifts. AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D CPU specifications. Starting with the top SKU, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D CPU. This chip features 16 cores and 32 threads with 2 CCDs and a single I/O die. The chip is configured similarly to the Ryzen 9 9950X but comes with a 3D cache boosted CCD, offering up to 144 MB of total cache. That's 64 MB from the Zen 5 CCDs and 64 MB from the X3D stack, including an additional 16 MB L2. Just like the Ryzen 9 9950X, the X3D variant will feature a maximum boost clock of up to 5.7 GHz while retaining all of its overclocking capabilities in a 170 watts DDP package. AMD Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D CPU specifications. Moving over to the second part, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D CPU, which will retain the same core configuration as the Ryzen 9 9900X with 12 cores, 24 threads, and 64 MB of L3 cache from its 2 CCDs, with one of those 2 CCDs equipped with a second-generation 3D cache stack which boosts the total figure up to 140 MB. This chip features a maximum boost clock of up to 5.5 GHz, so a 100 MHz slower lock than the 9900X but in the same 120 watts DDP package. The second-gen 3D cache will allow both chips to run cooler and offer great overclocking headroom besides the standard CO and PBO utilities. AMD Ryzen 9 9000 by 3D CPU performance, gaming and application. As for performance, the AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D CPU offers an average 8% faster gaming uplift versus the AMD Ryzen 9 7950 by 3D and up to 58% faster performance in games such as Counter-Strike 2. Compared to the competition's latest Intel Core Ultra 9 285K, the AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D offers up to 64% faster performance and 20% improvement on average, with several games delivering over 20 to 30% uplifts. Lastly, it's not just gaming performance that has seen a tremendous uplift. Thanks to the new Zen 5 architecture, the AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D manages to offer up to 23% and an average 13% uplift in content creation workloads such as Corona, Blender, Cinebench, and Adobe Photoshop. So with the higher-end Ryzen 9X 3D CPUs, you won't be missing out on the workstation-grade performance of Zen 5. As for availability, the AMD Ryzen 9 9950 by 3D and Ryzen 9 9900 by 3D CPUs are scheduled for a Q1 2025 release in the month of March. AMD will be following up with more specs and pricing details in the coming days, so stay tuned.